Hey everyone, welcome to episode 281, External Processing. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. Hey everyone, I'm so loving the feedback from the last couple episodes we talked about just walking out the door, which is about just like getting off your duff and getting stuff done. That is very hard to do. We're talking about how to deal with difficult people. And we've also been talking about chapters in your life versus failures in your life, in relationships in particular. So today before we talk about external processing, I want to talk to you about pocket coaching, which is great for people who are external processors, which we're going to talk about today. Pocket coaching is a great way if you are struggling in your four walls for peace and harmony and tranquility more often than not, then I would like you to sign up for pocket coaching because it's a great way for you to share what's going on in your four walls that's causing you so much agita and stress. And then I can hear a lot of your unconscious thinking and I can give you tips and strategies and suggestions that are personal to what's going on in your four walls based on your kids and their ages and stages. If you're interested, I will send you a link to Voxer. And Voxer is like voicemail and walkie-talkie that have a baby and Voxer was born. If you're interested, go to www.coachingkelly.com, go to the Work With Me tab and sign up there. And then I can hook you up, Buttercup. So today we're talking about external processing. And this actually comes from someone who is doing pocket coaching with me. And she knows who this is because I flipped out when she said it. She said it so nonchalantly, like, I'm an external processor, and that's why it's helping her with Voxer and with coaching because she's an external processor. I was like, wait, what? And I just made so much sense when she said it. And I went to the Googles I love the way she described it. And I can't do it justice, so I'm going to say what Google says. An external processor as a person is someone who thinks and develops their ideas while talking about them. They are also known as verbal processors. Some characteristics of external processors include quick thinkers. They can quickly assess and process information and solidify their thoughts and opinions through conversation. So you can probably guess that I'm this person. Okay? And usually an external processor marries an internal processor, someone who has to go deep within to think. And that feels very frustrating and very isolating for the external processor. And then the internal processor, it's very annoying with all the talking and yapping going on because they are just trying to think. They're trying to think it through. So each person is offended by the other person when they're all doing the same exact thing, just versus internal versus external. Another characteristic is may seem like they are switching topics. They may come up with more things to say as they talk, and one thought may lead to another. My sisters and I, we call this the river talk. So it's like we're doing the stream of consciousness, and I'm like, okay, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And then all of a sudden I'm on this other tangent, and my sister described it like this perfectly. She's like, I feel like I'm going down the river, and I'm paddling and paddling, telling the story. And then I go off on a little tangent. So I go off on this finger of this river and I go down that river. And then I have to get back to the main river, but I can't remember how I got back to the main river. And then I'm all of a sudden on another finger of a river. And so that's sometimes what happens when you're just doing a stream of consciousness. And that's why I love pocket coaching, because you can just give me a stream of unconsciousness, and just let her rip. And it feels so good to get it out and give it words and give it energy. And it feels like venting sometimes. And it feels just like, whew. Sometimes I'll leave a Vox or a Telegram for my sisters. And I'm like, I feel so much better. Thank you. And they haven't even listened to it yet because I've processed it externally by just talking and yapping about it and going down all sorts of rivers, all sorts of different lanes, all these different fingers of the river. And sometimes I'm like, oh man, I'm down this river. I don't know how to get back to the main river. I don't even know what I was talking about. It happens more often than not. Another characteristic. I swear I didn't plan this. It may seem like they're rambling. They may feel impatient with quiet while they're processing because they're just rambling on. Yes. If I'm an external processor and then there's an internal processor around me, I'm like shaking them like, spit it out, get it out, get it out. And they're probably like, zip it, girl. Another characteristics of an external processor are they may want quick answers. They may struggle to be patient and often look for instant problem solutions. That is me to a T. David has nicknamed me IGK, Instant Gratification Kelly. I'm like, come on, let's go. Here are some tips for dealing with external processors. Find the right time. Set ground rules. Let the process play out. Treat listening as success and understand the heart of their thoughts before you engage. Most people fall somewhere on a sliding scale between external and internal processing, rather than being one camp or the other. Now, we know we don't do black and white thinking on this podcast, but your brain will go to, I'm an external processor 100% of the time. I think I do a little bit of both. I'm probably 75% external, 25% internal. And guess what? If you are 75% external and 25% internal, you probably are married or in relationship with someone who is 25% external, 75% internal. Now, conversely, an internal processor is someone who prefers to think through information and problems on their own rather than sharing their thoughts as they come up. This is why they might go on long drives. They might spend a lot of time in the bathroom. They might go on long walks. They might be quiet while just sitting on the couch. They may need time to be alone with their thoughts and may prefer to prepare their thoughts in advance of a meeting. Here are some traits of an internal processor. They need time to process. That's why soft launching any ideas to an internal processor is a really good idea versus just laying it on them like, okay, we're going to do this. Internal processors may need time to play through scenarios in their head before they can make a decision. They may need to sleep on it before they come up to an agreement. And so an external processor can be very, very impatient when it comes to an internal processor because they're like, speak, what's going on in there? Knock, 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 what's going on? And what's going on is the same thing that's happening with an external processor. It's just happening internally. So try not to judge it, whether you're one or the other. Whatever you are, you're going to judge the other one because it's so opposite of you. And that's okay to judge because they're probably judging you too. But when you drop the judgment, you're like, oh, he or she's just doing the same thing I'm doing. They're just doing it differently. Because sometimes we think different is wrong or we take different personal. And I'm here to let you know you don't have to take it personal. They're very careful speakers. Internal processors may choose their words carefully and their conclusions may sound like final decisions. They may need to be called on. Internal processors may listen carefully during meetings, but they need to be called on to voice their opinion. Now, I'm not talking about the workplace. I'm talking about the home place. So no, you're not going to be calling on people because no one's raising their hand in a home. They may need time to prepare. Internal processors may prefer to prepare their thoughts in advance of a meeting. So that means just don't spring things on an internal processor. I didn't plan this either. May prefer to take a walk. Internal processors may prefer to take a solo walk rather than a long walk with you to have a long conversation. Knowing your thinking style can help you in the personal life and at work. It can also help you understand how to communicate with different people who have different thinking styles. This is so key because when we have someone different in our most vulnerable relationships, we take it personally that they're doing it wrong or they're doing it different than us. So if they're not doing it the same way as us, then we think that something has gone wrong. There's something wrong with us or there's something wrong with them. And that is a lose-lose. And that will create disharmony in your home versus having more harmony in your home. So let me know, are you an external processor or an internal processor? Probably an external processor if you're listening to me ramble on. And that's why I love pocket coaching, because especially if you're an external processor, it is great for just let it ramble and let it go. And I can hear all the unconscious thinking and I can give you tips, tricks, and suggestions. And if you're an internal processor, that's good too, because you can digest what I'm telling you and then you can take your time and respond back whenever you need to. And that's the beauty of pocket coaching. It's not on the spot where you have to be ready at all times. You just hear what I say, you digest it, and then you either internally process it back or you externally process it back. And there's no wrong way. And the person that you're judging, they're not doing it wrong. They're just doing it different. And when you can accept that, you will take the ego out of it, because when we have our ego in a relationship, that is edging God out. And that is always a lose-lose for both people involved. So try this. Let me know if you're an internal processor, an external processor. Let me know. And this will create more harmony in your home and help you understand the people that you love the most. And then they can help you understand you because they love you the most too. I love you guys and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was, what was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening. I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too, each and every day. Thanks for listening.